Let's talk about the habits that got me here. So the habits that got me to be 14 stone 5, because I didn't get here overnight. I used to be 10 stone 7. I had my daughter 3.5 years ago, so not anytime recently, but my weight has just kept going up and up and up and up to 14.5 stone. So I think it's actually really, really helpful to talk about why I'm now this way. Where has this come from? What are the habits that have contributed to it? Because then if I can understand the why and where it's come from, I know what I've got to change. So you can do the same as well if you like. So I eat like I still exercise 5 times a week, which I do not. So I used to be really, really strong gym goer. I've always loved doing like big hikes on the treadmill. Weightlifting is a big thing that I've always enjoyed. I've done pole fitness for many, many years and always really enjoyed that. Me and my partner used to go for big, big walks about 2 or 3 times a week that were about 2 hours at a time. We used to love it. It's what we do. We grab a coffee, we go for a walk. And we used to do this when we had Millie in the pushchair. But as she's become more of a toddler, I don't know if any of you have ever tried to walk for 2 hours with a toddler who doesn't want to be in a pushchair and doesn't want to walk. You can't. You just can't. They don't care. They don't do it. And ultimately, it means that you walk less. I also go to the gym less because I'm either mumming or I'm self-employed and I'm working or I'm doing something else. And it just means that the time that I used to spend working out, I now don't. But I still eat like I do. So that's one big one. It's tuning the eating, which I've done, which I'm continuing to do. So it's not having the ultra processed food. So I'm not limiting how much I'm eating. What I'm doing is just eating loads and loads of the right foods and the foods that are actually going to give me fuel rather than give me fat, basically. Number 2, I have a very, very addictive nature. Now you may be the same. You might be thinking, yeah, I can't just eat just one of something either. But I definitely have, it's awful. If there are 6 Easter eggs in the house, you better believe I will eat 6 in one day. If there are like a tiramisu, a cake, a trifle and anything, which my other half loves the pudding. So anytime we have dinner, he will like bring back a nice pudding. So we'll eat it. 2 spoons, away you go. And I cannot stop. So whatever is in the house, I will eat. And I will keep going and keep going and keep going. There's no off switch at all. Now, I'm not much of a savoury person at all, but excuse me, sweet things I will eat and eat and eat and eat until I physically can't fit any more in. So if there's like a box of chocolates, the entire box will go. And this addictive nature also extends to my coffee drinking. So this is why I chose to cut coffee out, because I will drink most days 10 to 12 cups of coffee every day with no difficulty. So I will eat dinner with coffee. I have coffee with breakfast. I have coffee if I go out, coffee if I go to someone's house, coffee when I go visit clients, coffee when I'm at home, coffee for bed. And it just becomes the drink that I drink. So I decided to cut that out completely because of how my nature is, because I know I'll just have a coffee in the morning. Once I start having it, I want more and more of it. And it's the same with the chocolate. So the chocolate that I am allowing myself to have is if it has 5 ingredients or less, that are all recognizable ingredients as things and not as like chemicals or emulsifiers or preservatives or anything like that, I am allowed to have that, which basically is like the 85% or 90% dark chocolate, which I don't really have a huge care for. So I can have like a square or 2 of that because I don't really care about it. But the addictive nature is definitely one of the habits that got me here today, definitely. And I wanted to share with you the turning point for me. So the realization for me that I needed to do something about this. And what that turning point was the other morning I was sat on the sofa and my daughter, who's 3.5, came over to me and she went, "Mummy, does your back hurt?" And I went, "No." And she said, "Mummy, does your tummy hurt?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, can you play with me then, please?" And I thought, you poor kid, you know that you now need to check, am I in pain? Am I uncomfortable? If I can interact with you and if I can play with you. And I thought it's one thing me feeling like absolute rough as houses, and me not eating well and me getting fatter and me being unhealthy and me aggravating my own endometriosis and me aggravating my own issues, and ultimately being overweight was hurting my back, and I was got stiffness and soreness and trapped nerves and all things. But when it gets to a point where my 3.5-year-old is having to ask me, are you okay enough to play with me? That just absolutely broke my heart, and I thought, I've got to do something about this now, and that is why I've gone with the change now. This is why I am eating as well as I am right now, and will continue to do so, because I don't want to be that mum. I don't want to be that person, let alone that mum who just sits by and watches her kids play, who's not up running around with them and chasing around and playing with her and interacting because I'm too sore, or because I'm too uncomfortable, or because I've eaten stuff the day before and it's aggravating me today, or because I feel too tired because I'm not fueling myself properly. So one, it's not good example setting for her, but two, it's just not good overall. No one's winning through me eating shed loads of crap all the time. So my daughter is actually the turning point for me and my motivation. The clever little thing has taught me that you need to do something about it. So I am. So what is your motivation? What is keeping you eating well at the moment, or making a change where you're making changes in your lifestyle? Let me know what changes they are, and let me know what's keeping you doing that. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.